Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. It is 2 minutes after 9 o'clock, and a reminder that this hour is brought to you by Africa Muslims Agency. And of course, later on in the show, we will be taking a listen to Hafiz Imran Chunara, personal excellence mentor, and also CEO of Africa Muslims Agency, with his Fired Up series. But right now, many, many congratulations are in order for a woman of wonder. Alhamdulillah, she's none other than Dr. Zafreen Valli, working very, very hard with an organization. It is Care for You Too. She's been doing this for a long, long time. Alhamdulillah, she's won the award. Let's understand what it is that makes this dearest sister tick. Dr. Zafreen Valli, salaam alaikum to you. Welcome. Lovely to have you on the show this morning. And once again, heartiest congratulations on winning the award, Women of Wonder. How does it feel?
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakallah so much for having me on the show, Auntie Julie. It's not the first time I've been on your show. So I must compliment you on always, from the time Care for You Two has started, being a supporter of us, giving us a platform across the board all of these years. And it's individuals like yourself and platforms like these that help us small organizations to advocate for what we do. So, Alhamdulillah, it's been a journey, 13 years on. And a big, big, huge thank you to Fazana Mayat from Panache International and Yasin Valley from the Trade Route Mall, who actually, chose Care for You to Respite Outreach as a, um, how can I say, as one of the uh, recipients of the Woman of the Wonder Award. So, as in so much, obviously they couldn't give it to my every single lady in my entire team. They chose me, so my this award actually goes out to my entire team. It's not only me. Team effort is the only way that things can work, and that in its own within your own organizations, but also collaborating with other organizations to do what we do best, inshallah.
Subhanallah. So, talk to us about when the nominations were made and when you were approached by Women of Wonder, and the two people you mentioned here is Farzana Mayat and Yasin Valley, that, they would like you, they've nominated you. How did you feel about it, and what did it mean for you and for your organization, Care for You Too?
Okay, so I didn't even know that we were actually nominated. We were nominated by Dr. Nadia Jajbai, and a big jazakallah to her, because if it wasn't for her, they probably wouldn't have known about us. So I get an email from a message from Fazana to say we will be receiving an email tomorrow, and you can just imagine the shock that I had to say, oh wow, okay. First of all, is this even real? But I must say, they've been absolutely brilliant from the time they sent us an email, talked us through everything that was happening, the organizing, everything was just um, lovely. It was absolutely lovely. The mere fact that I think they had over more than 1,000 nominations this year, if I'm not mistaken,
Wow.
and yes, across the board in all the different categories, and to be selected as one of those in our category of doing well, outreach work, it was amazing. It is the 11th year that Woman of Wonder is now. This year is the 11th year. So Alhamdulillah, they've also come a long way, and their journey with meeting up with different women across the board, both nationally and internationally, is amazing. It's absolutely wonderful to see the amount of work women are doing in their capacities, in their personal capacities, as well as organizations, small or big, trying to make a difference in the lives of every individual out there.
Can you
So a
mention
big
a
shout to
few?
them.
All right. Can you mention a few other women that were nominated and the categories? I just want to get a sense of, the type of shoulders you were rubbing with, the people that you were kind of interacting with at the actual awards. And it gives one a sense of what's going down locally and internationally. And I think also, underlying all of that, just the encouragement and motivation it gives to our young girls in the community that it's important to be involved in something meaningful and just kind of almost spur them on, inshallah.
Inshallah. Okay, so I'm really going to be sorry. I probably only remember one or two names. We were quite
That's
a few
fine.
ladies that got the award. But if everybody wants to know, they can go on to Panache International on Instagram, as well as Woman of Wonder on Instagram. Care for You too will also be posting soon. All the recipients' names are there, all the categories they are there, and what they do. But there were Angela Young. I'm not sure if you know of her, the lady who summited Mount Everest for her role in the gender-based violence. The one who put up the bra
Absolutely.
on the summit. Yes, she
Yeah,
was there. She was one of our recipients as well. And then we had Dr. Faima Ismail and Dr. Nazreen that took the Icon Awards this year with Panache International. And then we had advocates. Okay, one I can't remember her surname. So we had diverse groups. We had advocates there. We had doctors there. We had there was Dr. Kylie Stain from Baragwana working in the pediatric ward. There was Dr. Rushda Lazira Khan, the gynae, for her work that she's doing in many different fields. There was I'm so sorry, I'm blanked out with the other names,
no
but uh,
worries. Yeah,
yes, Auntie Julie, diverse women from all across the
okay.
board.
What does it
I think
mean? What does it mean to you, Dr. Zafreen Valley, in your own personal capacity and as a collective with the organization Care for You Too?
so. I think the most important thing is care for you to respite outreach. I don't know if many people know what we actually do. We are a organization that works with special needs children and their families. So, special needs being children with diagnoses like cerebral palsy, autism, muscular dystrophy, muscular atrophy, the big diagnosis, and just to be out there and to get what we actually do in the form of our primary goal called respite care is quite different than what most organizations do. So respite care, as in so much we look after the children, but we also look after the parents. And respite care is when we send the parents or the caregivers away on a short break, which is very much needed because these parents and caregivers are looking after these children 24 hours a day. So it's a fairly new concept in our country. Not many people are aware of it. The respite program is well known in the UK. It's part of the national health insurance there. And, it was something that is very, very, very much needed here within our own borders in South Africa. And then from an outreach perspective, obviously, we do all assistive devices for these children. We also, during COVID now, we started up a caregiver empowerment program where we start up small businesses for the parents of these children. Because a lot of these parents had to have to leave work to look after their kids 24 hours a day. And a lot of them want to work. So the opportunity this gives them is that during the time when the children are at school, they can have their small little home-based industries where they can cook or bake or sell or make things or whatever it is to help them also not to be only reliant on the social grant, which we know is fairly barely minimal. And the cost of living is so high, and let alone with these special needs children, they need so much on a daily basis. So that was another project that we started off during COVID, and I must say, Alhamdulillah, we've had challenges. I mean, naturally, we're an organization that's always looking for funding. There's a whole process that we go through to identify applicants, and we work closely with a lot of special needs schools in Gauteng. But the organization is not only based in Gauteng, we are national, And we've worked with Alimdad internationally as well. We've done projects with the Syrian refugees in Rehanli, Turkey. We've worked in Jordan with Alimdad. We've worked with Jordan now for Gaza with special needs individuals at the hospital in Cairo, where we sent assistive devices through. We've worked in Malawi, we've worked in Lesotho. So as you can see, it's about special needs across the board. Obviously, South Africa, Gauteng, South Africa preferably preference. A majority of our work is done in our country, and so we are growing at a steady pace. During COVID as well, we started up our support groups for mothers, and that is the support group for moms who have special needs children. But over and above that, in another platform, I also run support groups for moms that have lost children, widows, as well as teenage girls with anxiety and depression. We're currently based in Amarantia for these support groups, but it's all interlinked at the end of the day, Auntie Julie. It's amazing that sometimes you start with one project, and within that project, there's avenues that you can go out and further yourself and put yourself out there again with a team of absolutely wonderful women.
How many people in your team, Zafreen?
Four ladies.
What? Alhamdulillah, and you've achieved all of this in the past
Alhamdulillah.
13 years.
Yeah, so Alhamdulillah, when we started off, we were a much bigger group. However, as time went on, some of the ladies, life happens to everybody. And a lot of them had to leave, and then we just remained with four ladies. But, we have to acknowledge the first group of ladies that were with us. We were eight in total at that point, and each one brought significant um, what you call they contributed significantly to the start of Care for You Too. If it wasn't for every one of those ladies' expertise in their respective fields, I don't think we would have been able to succeed with this organization if it wasn't for that foundation that we started off 13 years ago.
May you grow from strength to strength. People watching us
Inshallah.
this morning who may have a situation with a child with a disability, and they're not quite sure what exactly it is that you're offering them. Could you give us a sense of that?
So, what we offer, first of all, if people need to get hold of us, the best way is to do it via email. Because we are four women and we all work, it's not always possible to answer our phone calls. So, if we get a request via email, we can always respond to it. So, our email address for anyone is info@care4u2.co.za. So what they can do is state in the email, even if they don't know whether or not my organization can help them, we can maybe help refer them, because there's a lot of other organizations that we work with collaboratively that we can direct them to. So, for example, they don't fit our criteria, but we know that there is an organization out there that can help them with their diagnosis, and whatever else that they need, we will gladly refer them out. As for my organization, once the email comes through, it's part of our diagnosis and criteria. The ladies will send out an application form for them, and then all attached documentation with the application form needs to come back to us. The board will sit down, they'll have a meeting, it will be approved. Alhamdulillah, to date, I don't think there are many applications that we've not approved. But, Auntie Julie, the biggest thing is, unfortunately, as much as we'd like to help every single person, people lie. This is the saddest part of all. People hide information, people lie. So over the years, we had to become hard, if I can use that word, as in start scrutinizing things that they tell us on the application forms. People hide, banking things from us. It's horrible that we must actually go and verify things when you are the one in need. So, and then it's putting the risk of the child in, the child is at risk, because now, as a board, our hearts are soft. Special needs children humble you every single day, even their parents. And now we find out you've lied to us. So initially no credit checks were done. Now credit checks are done. Everything is legit because people have lied to us. The people tell us they don't have medical aid, yet they're claiming another chair on medical aid. And our chairs are expensive. Our assistive devices are expensive. I mean, the cheapest chair can be 5,000, and the most expensive chair for an 8-year-old can be 120,000 rand.
Sure.
So, funding is a problem. Donors, we have to find donors. And it takes us time to get these things, but we get it done. And if people lie and the chair, all of that money goes into the hands of somebody that's out there to get us, I mean, it's just not fair.
So you
It's not
certainly
right.
don't want it to go to people who can afford to pay
Definitely
for it
not.
out of their
Yes,
pockets. This is really
yes. So
about
that's why,
people, yeah, people who
yeah.
really
So
need it. Carry on.
yeah. So our criteria is, we have a cutoff. Anyone earning under less than 10,000 rand a month, that we can obviously help. So what happens also is that we do get individual requests from across the country as well, and there are families that have approached us and said, "Listen, we can afford to pay, but can you help us?" And we do. We do, Auntie
Sure.
Julie, because you know what? Alhamdulillah, over 13 years, we've created very good relationships with companies that are able to give us bigger discounts. So in that respect, it will still go through Care for You too. You can put your funding into our account, and we will get the discount on our account, and we will get you the devices that you need. But you've got to be open to with us, and you've got to
Okay.
work with us.
Alhamdulillah. Just to wrap up then, you refer to assistive devices. Would those be wheelchairs and what else?
So, standing frames, walkers, bathing equipment, bath chairs. It's very very specialized type of equipment. It's not just your normal aid like for an elderly. It's very different, right? So all of that. Sometimes we even happen to give some beds and cot beds to kids, for kids with cerebral palsy and other severe diagnosis. We also help with hearing aids to a certain extent. We also help with, reading glasses if need be. So assistive devices across the board, depending on the need of the child. And one child might need more than one device, not necessarily only one. So there's a process that we follow, Auntie Julie. It's not that you just send me an application, say I need a wheelchair. No, it doesn't work like that. We then get you assessed. Assessments are done by occupational therapists, seating specialists, depending on what they say, what they need, and then we is it only one wheelchair? Is it a backrest that needs to be attached to a wheelchair? Is it a standing frame? Is the child how high? How tall is the child? What is the hip weight? It's hip measurements. All of those things have to be taken into consideration. So it's not like you going into Discam and buying a wheelchair. It doesn't work like that. Sometimes it takes us up to 3-4 weeks before, even up to 2 months before the child can receive a chair, because sometimes the first initial measurements are done. Then the second set of measurements have to be done. Sometimes the child in between gets sick, lands up in hospital. There's a delay in getting that. So remember, government does give first wheelchairs. They do a lot as well, but they cannot follow up into giving the child maybe a second or third wheelchair when they grow older, and that's where we
Mm.
also come in.
Okay,
So
Zafreen,
alhamdulillah.
Maaf, we have to wrap up now, but I just quickly want to ask you, you talked about assisting with hearing aids. Is this hearing aids for hard of hearing children? What about pensioners who can't afford to get hearing aids? Their pension just will not, be sufficiently enough to enable them to get that. Do you look at those as well, or do you work mainly with children only?
Yeah, so we work mainly with children and only with special needs. So it's
Okay,
not across the board. Unfortunately, we have to cut the criteria down
of
because
course,
it's not possible. It is not
of
possible.
course.
But however, there are audiologists out there that are doing wonderful work for pensioners. If they need hearing aids, there is actually Atia Dadabai based at Crown Med Day Hospital, the Old Fordsburg Clinic. She does wonderful work with the elderly who and gives them huge discounts with their hearing aids. So you can contact her, via the Old Fordsburg Clinic, or I think she is on social media. You can, they can call her as well. And yeah, unfortunately, and I'm sure there are other audiologists out
Of
there as well
course.
that might be giving them good discounts as well.
I'm going to have to let you go. I have so many more questions, but time has run out. I truly, truly, truly am so happy for you, for the amazing work you're doing for your team. I think one of them, I know one other person on your team, and that is Shanaz. Uh, Huge congratulations to all of you. I just think the type
Jazakallah.
of work you guys do is can only be rewarded by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And may you
Inshallah.
guys
Ameen.
grow from strength to strength. And right at the beginning of the program, you mentioned that there are people that make these type of interviews and this type of information to reach the general public. And you mentioned us in passing, so our media, of course, that's what we're all about. We are all about humanitarian journalism, and we also try our utmost best to make a meaningful difference. So keep us in your dua so that we too can grow from strength to strength, and we too can bring out these type of stories. And just that, I think you and your organization are absolutely amazing. It's an
Jazakallah
award
khair.
that is very, very well deserved. Continue doing the amazing work, and Allah accept from one and all, inshallah. Go well. Keep
Inshallah.
us in your
Jazakallah so
du'as.
much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Walaikum salam. That was Dr. Zafreen Valli. She is the founder of course, the organization that is called Care for You Too. She was a recipient of one of the awards. She in her category, of course, she was the recipient of the award in her category. So well done to you guys, all of the recipients, and a big shout out to Panache, to Trade Route Mall, and to Women of Wonder. It is exactly 9:24. This is News and Views on Salam Media. Let's pay the rent, and then we can come back and talk some more.